Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and doing great. So today I'm back with another video to continue our UCAT test preparation. As you guys know, we have started our practice test questions and we are at the verbal reasoning. We have completed our 3 sections of verbal reasoning. Now today we're going to start from section 4 of verbal reasoning. This one is the last section of verbal reasoning, then we will move towards the decision making questions. So let's see we can complete this section in this video or not. So let's start it without any further delay. Section 4, verbal reasoning. Instructions. So first we have some instructions down given that which type of questions can conclude in this type of section. So you are presented with passages of text, each associated with 4 questions. There are 2 different question types in this subtest. Option A, a question or incomplete statement with 4 response options, where you are required to pick the most suitable response. A question where you must determine on the basis of the information in the passage a statement is true, false, or you can't tell. So it means 2 types of questions will include in this section. Some of the questions are incomplete or that are only questions. Then you have to decide a correct option from the 4 options that are given below. Or if there is an incomplete statement and the remaining part of that statement will be given in the form of options, and you have to choose the correct statement that will connect or complete the statement given in the form of a question. Next, the question can be in the form of the passage and the information is given, and you have to tell is that information is true, false, or you can't tell about it. So I hope you guys understand that which type of questions include in this subtest. So click the next button to proceed. So here we have a first question out of 44. It also had 44 questions. This one is question number 1. So here we have some passages given on which you can take a look. You can read whole passage if you have time, but you guys know that there is very less time for you to solve every question, and you have to save it for the complex one also. So what you can do is, without reading every passage, you can use just some keywords from the statement given and then find that keyword in these passages and draw your conclusion from it. Okay, now here we have a statement, or you can say an information is given that the author's auntie knew that Roy intended to spend time with his girlfriend. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. Okay, now you can use these keywords to find out the answers from these passages. You can use Roy intended to spend time as your keyword to find out your answer. So let's check where Roy is explained in these passages. So here we have Roy, you can see, and the girlfriend also. So we can read this passage now and find out what we can have from this passage. Is it true or false? So option B is correct because the passage says unknown to his mother wanted to be with his secret girlfriend. So because of this statement which is written in that passage, like unknown, he resented the burden of his little cousin, and unknown to his mother wanted to be with his secret girlfriend. Because of this statement which is given as that the author's auntie knew that Roy intended to spend time with his girlfriend is false. So we have option B is correct, which is false. Okay. Next question we have is question number 2, which says the author would never have learned the lesson about the value of setting targets if his cousin had looked after him properly. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. Okay, so this question is also associated with the same passage that one is in the given in the last paragraph, last question, the Roy one. As you guys can take a look at this passage. Okay, so let's see which option is the correct one. So here we have correct response is C, can't tell. Option C is correct because we don't know if we would never have learned that lesson. It just so happens that event helped influence him. So because of this reason, we have the option C is the correct option, which is can't tell. So the statement that is given here, the author would never have learned the lesson about the value of setting targets if his cousin had looked after him properly. Is the statement that we can't tell about. So we select the option C as the right option. Next we have Gonville is not a mountain. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. So now here we have these two words as a keywords, the Ganwan and a mountain. We can use them to find out our answer from this. Again we have a same passage, you can see. Okay, now here we have a Ganwan, a mountain. We can read that passage to find out our answer. That I vividly remember the first time I climbed a mountain. It is wrong to call Gondwan a mountain. The summit is only 2000 feet above sea level. But to a lonely boy who had never seen mountains, it seemed enormous. So the correct response is A, which is true. And option A is correct because despite it saying, I vividly remember the first time I climbed a mountain, it then goes to say it is wrong to call Convent a mountain. So because of this reason, we can say that option A is the correct option, which is true. So Convent is not a mountain. The author never did anything very exciting when he was a boy. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. Now you can see we have the same passages if you wanted to read. So here we have, you can take a look at these passages once again, and then you can choose your keywords to find out your answers, that the statement that is given is true or not. The author never did anything very excited when he was a boy. So you can use exciting as your keyword to find out your answer. So here we have option C is correct, which is can't tell. It is correct because nowhere in the passage does it say the author never did anything excited when he was a child. So option C, which says can't tell, is the correct option. So the statement was the author never did anything very exciting when he was a boy. So this one is option C, that we can't tell, as it is never mentioned in the passages given. Which of these assertions about epistolary novels can best be supported with evidence from the passage? Option A, they were invented by English writers during the 18th century. Option B, they lost popularity after c. 1800 because of the decline in letter writing. Option C, they thrived when letters were written by 3 or more characters. Option D, they were written in a style which mirrored the ordinary life of readers. So here we have these 4 options, and here we have a different passage for this question about the epistolary novels. So here we have option D is correct because paragraph 2 states that author created a sense of realism by imitating real life. So the option D, which says they were written in a style which mirrored the ordinary life of readers as the correct option. So the statement was that which of these assertions about epistolary novels can best be supported with evidence from the passage. So we can say this assertion that they were written in a style which mirrored the ordinary life of readers is the correct option. Which of these assertions cannot be supported by information in the passage? Option A. Levels of literacy improved for some sections of society in the 18th century. Option B. The group of people with leisure to read novels was super class women. Option C. The main criticism of epistolary novel was that they were not very realistic. Option D. Most 18th century epistolary novels were concerned with themes of love. So option C is correct because the only criticism of the form is for presenting romance in an extremely moralistic way. Option A is incorrect because paragraph 1 references the increase of literacy among upper class women after 1700, that is 18th century. Option B is incorrect because paragraph 1 notes that upper class women experienced increased leisure time and spent some of it reading. Option D is incorrect because paragraph 3 states that the most popular theme was romance. So now you can see here we have option C as the correct response. That the main criticism of epistolary novels was that they were not very realistic. So this is the assertion that cannot be supported by information in the passage given. So according to the passage, factors which contributed to the decline in popularity of epistolary novels included each of the following except option A. People wanted a more moralistic approach. Option B. Critics of epistolary novels mocked the style. Option C. Readers preferred a different style of book. Option D. There was a change in how people relaxed. Here we have a same passage given to find out your answers. You can now see which one is the correct option. So here we have option A is correct because paragraph 3 says epistolary novels were extremely moralistic. So it is unlikely that readers wanted a more moral approach. And there is no further evidence of this in the passage. We are told that the style was ridicule. Preferences for more narrative styles increased and layered behavior, that is relaxation, changed. So we have all this reason to say that we have option A is the correct option, which is people wanted a more moralistic approach. So according to the passage, factors which contributed to the decline in popularity of epistolary novels included each of the following except option A, that people wanted a more moralistic approach. Okay, so this is the right option. Next we have the question number 8, that a benefit of the epistolary style of novel was that writers could, option A, show that all characters understood the plot. Option B, develop interesting and natural storylines. Option C, make use of an ever-present narrative voice. Option D, demonstrate a rational attitude to social issues. Okay, so here we have these options and we have a same passage. To find out our answers, so option B is correct because paragraph 2 emphasizes the opportunity the style gave for developing a sense of realism and plot. Paragraph 2 states that discrepant awareness meant that not all characters were aware of events and that authors were able to escape from the omniscient narrative voice. Paragraph 3 states that one of the reasons for the decline in popularity was the development of more rational attitude. So that's why we have a right option is option B, because of all this reason that develop interesting and natural storylines. So the statement says that a benefit of the epistolary style of novel was that writers could develop interesting and natural storylines. This is the right option. Okay, now next we have question number 9. It says fashion's environmental footprint refers to the option A, unwanted clothing and textiles thrown away. Option B, wastewater produced. Option C, carbon dioxide produced. Option D, waste and carbon dioxide produced. Okay, so here we have these options and here we have a different passage for these questions. So again, you can take a look at these passages to find out your answers. We have the second paragraph, and then we have only these two passages. So here you can use this fashion's environmental footprint as your keyword to find out your answers in these passages. So here we have this fashion's environmental footprint in this passage given. So option D is correct because the penultimate sentence in the first paragraph states which factor contribute to the environmental footprint. The other options may contribute somewhat but not solely. So that's why we have the correct option is D, that waste and carbon dioxide produced. So fashion's environmental footprint refers to the waste and carbon dioxide produced. Value added clothing means clothes that option A have taken longer to make, option B have employed more people to make, option C use fewer resources to make, option D are cheaper. Option B is correct because the second paragraph states that value added clothes benefit the farmers as well as many artisans as possible. Option A is incorrect because the passage does not mention anything about how long it takes to make value added clothing. Option C is incorrect because although the passage mentions resources, it does not mention if fewer resources are needed for value added clothing. Only that the resources needed are more sustainable. Option D is incorrect because the passage does not mention the cost of value added clothing. So that's why we have option B is the correct option. You can use your value added as a keyword to find out your answers from these passages. You can see where value added is written. So here we have value added, and now you can see it not only benefited the farmers but also as many artisans as possible. So that's why we have option B, which is have employed more people to make, as the right option. Producing conventional cotton clothing rather than organic cotton clothing creates less. Option A, carbon dioxide. Option B, water. Option C, income. Option D, waste. So we have still the same passage for this question also. So here we have option C is correct because the passage is asking for more organic cotton to be produced in order to benefit the farmers and other producers of clothing, therefore increasing farmers' income. So we have option C, income is the correct option. The producing conventional cotton clothing rather than organic cotton clothing creates less income. Okay, now next we have question number 12. Environmental damage in less well-developed countries could be reduced by option A, helping communities diversify. Option B, banning crops used for clothing. Option C, planting more food crops. Option D, giving more financial aid. So option A is correct because helping communities diversify is the only positive action recommended in the passage. None of the alternatives could lead directly to the reduction of environmental damage. So that's why we have option A is correct, which is helping communities diversify. So environmental damage in less well-developed countries could be reduced by helping communities diversify. The efficiency of evacuated or flat plate collectors cannot be accurately calculated unless all factors connected with the generation of solar heating are considered. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. So here we have option A is correct because this is supported by the following statement in the second paragraph. Both have their advantages and disadvantages, with the selection process governed by factors such as the age and condition of a property's roof, existing internal plumbing and budget. So that's why we have option A, which is true, is the correct option for this question. That the efficiency of evacuated or flat plate collectors cannot be accurately calculated unless all factors connected with the generation of solar heating are considered. True. The government's feed-in tariffs do not apply to solar heating systems unless they are installed by suitably qualified individuals. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. So here we have different passages for these questions about feed-in tariffs. They also explained solar heating, the panels, all the information about these panels. So we have option C is correct because there is no information in the passage that suggests whether or not the government's feed-in tariff extends to solar heating systems installed by any person, only that the government recommends suitably qualified individuals to plan and install systems to maximize potential savings. So we have option C, that is can't tell, is the correct option. Okay, next we have that by installing 2 square meters of evacuated tubes or 4 square meters of flat plate collectors, any household's hot water heating needs will be met for most of the year. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. Option B is correct because there are far too many variables to guarantee if the system would be viable for any household. It has to be calculated on an individual's household's needs and existing infrastructure. So that's why we have option B, which is false, is the correct option. So now we have next question, that is question number 16, which says flat plate or evacuated tube collectors will work most efficiently on a pitched roof whose angle is below 20 or above 50 degrees. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. So option B is correct, which is false, because the second paragraph states the roof has to be pitched at an angle between 20 to 50 degrees. So there we have option B, which is false, as the correct option. Which of the following can be inferred from the passage? Option A, playing golf is now the best exercise for elderly people. Option B, playing golf is cheaper now than it ever has been. Option C. Fewer people play golf now than have done previously. Option D. More women play golf now than businessmen. So now we have different passages. You can read them. You can take a look at these passages. You can find out your keywords and then you can throw your answers from the passages given. So here we have option C is correct because the second paragraph states how the economic downturn has affected golf clubs, with many now offering huge discounts to encourage membership. Option A is incorrect because while the fourth paragraph does suggest that golf is a beneficial activity for older people, it does not state that this is exclusively the best exercise. Option B is incorrect because there is no mention in the passage that the discounts some golf clubs are offering make the rates cheaper than ever before. Option D is incorrect while the third paragraph states the support has involved more women than ever before. It does not state that this is proportionally more than the businessmen who play the sport. So that's why we have option C as our correct option, which says fewer people play golf now than have done previously. The author suggests that which of the following is happening as a result of the economic downturn. Option A. Golf clubs are looking for alternative ways of generating income. Option B. Only the more affluent golf clubs are surviving financially. Option C. All clubs are now staying open when conditions are unfit for play. Option D. More of the population are suffering from loneliness and depression. So now we have option A is correct because the second paragraph states that more affluent clubs are surviving the economic downturn by diversifying and opening their facilities for private hire and various other functions and events. Option B is incorrect because the second paragraph says that many clubs are surviving financially by keeping grounds open when they otherwise wouldn't generate income from the pay and play members. Option C is incorrect because the passage does not state that every club has been forced to open when conditions are unfit for play. The first paragraph describes this change as one of the many normal things no longer happen. Option D is incorrect because while the passage states that golf is a beneficial activity in terms of exercise and social interaction, both of which are important to an aging population who may suffer from loneliness and depression. It doesn't state that more of the population are suffering from loneliness and depression as a result of the economic downturn. So that's why we have option A, that golf clubs are looking for alternative ways of generating income as the correct options. Next we have question number 19. Which says that according to the passage, the author believes that golf, option A, is accessible to everyone, option B, should be a luxury, option C is a man's game, option D, improves well-being. So option D is correct because in the fourth paragraph, the author states the benefits of golf in terms of exercise and social interaction, both of which are so important to an aging population who may suffer from loneliness and depression. That's why we have option D, which is improves well-being, as the correct option. Which change would the author most likely make in order to increase the popularity of golf? Option A, extend opening hours. Option B, returf the green. Option C, reduce membership rates. Option D, introduce discounts for businesses. Option C is correct because the author presents golf as a luxury which people are choosing not to spend money on. In the fourth paragraph, the author describes this luxury as unfortunate as the sport has health benefits, making the sport less of an affordable luxury by reducing fees would ultimately increasing the popularity of golf. So we have option C, which is reduce membership rates, as the correct option. Next we have that according to the passage, which of the following statement is true? Option A, there were 130% fewer free pirated books in 2010 than 2011. Option B, the rise in free pirated books increased by 130% in 2011 from 2010. Option C, the Publishers Association issued more legal threats in 2010 than 2011. The Publishers Association issued more legal threats in 2011 than 2010. Option D is correct because they issued 1,15,000 legal threats in 2011, a rise of 130% in 2010. So we have the option D as the correct option. Based on the information in the passage, what can be inferred about ebook downloads? Option A, up to 20% of ebooks can be downloaded only from Amazon, Apple, and Google. Option B, at least 80% of ebooks downloaded are not from pirate websites. Option C, up to 20% of free ebook downloads are from pirate sites. Option D. Fewer than 80% of ebooks downloaded are legal. So now we have different passages to find out our answers. So option B is correct because it is estimated that up to 20% of ebook downloads are from pirate sites. Therefore, at least 80% are not from pirate sites. So we have option B is the correct option. Next we have, which of the following assertions is best supported by the information in the passage? Option A. Anyone can download software to convert books into a readable format for an e-reader. Option B. Pirate copies of books make up at least 20% of all downloads. Option C. Software to convert texts to readable documents is available free of charge. Option D. More people buy books online now than ever before. So option A is correct because freely available software which people can download to the home computers is able to convert just about any document file so that it can be read on a Kindle or other e-reader. So we have option A is the correct option. So next we have question number 24, which says, according to the passage or according to the author, which one of the conclusions can be drawn from the passage? Option A. The big publishers want to reduce the price of printed books. Option B. Consumers are concerned about breaches in copyright. Option C. Printed books can be bought more cheaply than an e-book from Apple or Amazon. Option D. All e-books should be available for 99p. So here we have option C is correct because the last paragraph states that Amazon and Apple are charging more for a download than a real book costs. So we have this option C as our correct option. Next we have question number 25. The people think faster between the ages of 25 and 40. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. So option B is correct because the final paragraph states that mental processing power is at a maximum between 16 and 24. So here we have a different passage, and we have a right option is option B, which is false. World-class players have better visual memories than non-players. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. So here we have correct option is C because we are not given a comparison of chess players to non-chess players' visual memory. Above average people may have outstanding visual memory, but we are not told how they compare to chess players. So we have option C, which is can't tell, as the correct option. Next we have tournament players make most of their money from prizes. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. So the correct response is C, because we are told that players make money from a variety of sources, lecturing and playing amateurs. However, we cannot tell where the majority of the income comes from. So we have option C, which is can't tell, is the correct option. Top players know a lot about the opening moves in chess game. Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, can't tell. So option A is correct, because the second paragraph states that very good players have an encyclopedic knowledge of a standard opening moves. So here we have option A is correct, which is true. Next we have once the law banning drinking was repealed in 1961, most Welsh pubs open on Sundays. Option A, true. Option B, false. And option C, can't tell. So the option C is correct, because you can't tell whether the statement is true or false, or the paragraph 1 states that the 1881 Act was repealed in 1961 when the new system of local referendums replaced it. We are told nothing about referendum results before 1975. In other words, local residents may have voted to remain dry up until 1975. So that's why we have correct option is C, that is can't tell. I hope you guys understand each and every question. Still have any confusion, you can ask me in the comment section. So I'll be back with another video. Till then, just take care and goodbye.